Dude, it kind of smells like poppin' bees. Huh? What's poppin' bees? What's poppin' bees? Welcome back to BeerSos.
We're on round two.
BeerSos round
We're
two.
back.
Oh
How are
my-
you doing?
I'm great. I'm happy to be back in Derek's mom's basement.
Yeah.
You know.
No, it's my basement now
Your
because I live alone.
Is that right? Okay, I'm happy to be
So,
in your basement.
like,
I knew it
legally?
happened. I knew it would happen. I just didn't think it would happen this soon. So when you guys reached out, I was a little surprised. But
Really?
It's not
Yeah.
that soon.
well, when you get older, time goes.
That's what they say.
faster.
Yeah,
He's
So
not the only guy to
I
say
fe-
that.
I feel like I was here 2 months ago, kind of thing.
Personally, I feel like it's been so long. Like I feel like a lot
Really?
a lot of inner development has happened since I've last seen you.
Well, I watched the podcast with Larry. I was pretty impressed by both you guys on that, to be honest, sort of thing. So we'll dive into that today. We'll get into this.
He's proud of us.
We'll get into
you could
this
say.
inner development.
Yo,
I want to hear more about it.
You're not old, but if an older man says they're proud of me,
I am
like
proud of you guys. I'm
something
absolutely
that-
proud of you guys. So I didn't realize like the range of BeerSos. When I came on, you guys messaged me last year. I saw you had a
Yeah.
bunch of followers. I liked your stuff. I said, okay, I'll do it. Then I did it, and it was like, one, I got a ton of clients from it.
Let's
So
go.
people-
Aaron, do you mind just talking till
Yeah.
Thank you.
Beer
so much.
saucers and Larry Johnstoners.
Aaron,
Larry-
we died.
Larry
do you
Johnstone.
mind going into
I
that a
mean-
little bit? Aaron
My
was
fault.
telling us before we recorded, BeerSos fans are some of your clients now.
Yeah, absolutely. But so I assumed like your audience was all just Gen Z, your sort of age, right?
Yeah.
But like I didn't realize how many people resonate with BeerSos. And after I went on, all my friends said the same sort of thing. They said, I love those guys. They weren't following you. I don't think they like subscribed to your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But they saw the clips and they looked at more of you and they all said, I fucking love those guys. My mom, after the podcast, texted me and she said, you were really good on that podcast, but those young boys were so impressive.
Yo,
But
Mrs. Johnstone!
but it's interesting because people don't comment on you being funny. Like that's a given. But what I've noticed is a lot of people are funny.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there putting out content that's funny. Everyone
Yeah.
says the same thing. They say, I love those guys. So I think we'll get into this today, but I want to analyze the genius of BeerSos, but there's something going on that you two are doing that people connect with on a deeper level that goes beyond white stepdad kind of thing. And it's true.
Still
It's
looking
true.
for it.
There's two responses. The people in my life. So I just did a podcast with my friend Lauren,
Yeah.
35, two little kids, She goes, I love those guys.
What the freak? Let's go.
Hi,
Hi, Lauren.
Love you too.
Or
You love her
people
too?
say something along the lines of they're so impressive. So it's kind of like I think there's an art to what you two do.
Holy
I'm
shit.
not.
How do you
I'm not
think of
trying
that?
to glaze. I'm not just here.
No, glaze,
No.
glaze.
Aaron, get me.
No. Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
will. So how do I say this? My favorite band's the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Do you know who that is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
okay.
we're not
on,
that
bro.
young.
We're
you never
2002.
know. You never know. I've seen them live like 5 times, and they're not just a good band. They have exceptional musicians. Like they're really good at their instruments. And when you watch them play, they'll play their songs that everybody knows, but then they'll improv. And they'll go into a guitar solo or something like that. So it's the song, it's the same structure. You know what they're playing,
Yeah.
but it's something completely new. And when you watch them, the guitarist, the bass, and the drummer, all of which who individually are fantastic musicians, they just start feeding off each other. So no one's leading. And it's incredible to watch. And it's this thing where 3 people are just on the spot, kind of flowing and going back and forth. So when I see your reels, that's in my mind at least, that's what I compare it
Yeah.
to. Like I see,
Yeah.
it's not like Nico's in charge and Derek's following. You have a joke,
Yeah.
you have a joke, but it's kind of like this thing that's just happening in real time. And there's something, it's like you can't not watch it. For me at least. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, I couldn't do this without you. Like,
Oh, yeah, 100%.
when we riff and do the improv segments and stuff, that's like a version of me that I strive for, like in other places.
Yeah.
But like, I don't get that. Like, and when I talk to like customer service when I'm alone, mad awkward.
Oh, I'm dead as
I'm
fuck.
so fucking
But
awkward.
So then you come together and this kind of magic happens. And sure,
Yeah.
you have some episodes or some reels that aren't that great or whatnot. But when you guys are on,
Yeah.
it's incredible to watch.
Yeah.
And I think it's the friendship too. I think that's what appeals to people. Like I said,
Yeah.
like people would like you if you were just funny. But there's a real. I don't even know if you get like I said,
I don't
have a lot
really
of
think
clients,
about
so,
that.
Like I don't even know if you guys are that in touch with it. But I hear people talk about you guys, and there's something going on.
Dude.
I don't know when I perceive this. How I'm perceiving this glaze
Yeah.
is that I'm not in touch with it. I don't really think about it, and honestly, some part of me doesn't believe it.
Yeah, low key.
That's what I figured.
That's
yeah.
what
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Right?
Why do you think that is? So it's out there. I've just told you that, and you don't read the comments. I think if I remember correctly.
I read the YouTube ones.
Okay, so
yeah.
people are validating you and showering you with praise and all this stuff, and there's something in you that rejects it. Goes, no, that's.
I feel like in my head, if that were true, I would be out the basement. Like
I see
I
what
like
he means.
results that really show like that are measurable.
Yeah.
So it's hard to believe that those things are true. And the thing is, rationally and objectively, I know those things are
Yes.
true.
Yeah.
But something doesn't connect to my brain because it's not a measurable thing that can show like that.
It's
that's
also
true.
kind of like a shirt that doesn't fit, if that makes sense. You know, when you wear a shirt that's too tight and it's
no, but
it's,
then it makes me look more buff, Aaron.
That's a good point. Okay, so that's not a good analogy. But you know, like I'll work with clients, and maybe I'm reading too much into your comment. You tell me. And I'll be working with someone, and they're a wonderful person, flawed as we all are, but they're absolutely wonderful, and I have the utmost respect for them. And then you hear them talk about themselves, and they hate themselves.
Yeah.
And so it's like my perception of them, which I'm not saying is objective reality, but my perception of them as this wonderful human being taking on their challenges, trying to work through their issues, is just so I can never say that word. You know what I mean?
Juxtaposition or
Yeah,
something?
that's something like that. Something like that.
Juxtaposition.
And so they're just trapped in this story about themselves, about what a loser they are, how terrible they are, and they're just going through life perceiving themselves that way.
I resonate with that a little bit. I think have a good coping mechanism for that, where I just overcompensate every time I feel that way because I hate feeling that way. I think I let my self-hatred really feel itself when I'm hating myself in the past. So a lot of the times on the show, I'll be like, wow, I was such a loser back then. I'm such a pussy back then.
Yeah.
Even like 6 months ago, I'll call myself like a big loser.
Yeah, I would say even on the last time you were here, I was a pussy.
Bro, the last time you were on this couch, I was a pussy.
Yeah.
bro.
In the episode or just in life? You mean?
Just in life, in
life.
general.
Why do you think that, or what were you doing or not doing that makes you feel that way?
Well, I think because I'm 22, I feel like I'm learning a lot really quickly.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think I still have a lot of evolutions left in me.
Absolutely.
But I think I evolve really quickly.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still like in the tutorial phase of my life.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm evolving really quickly. And then even reflecting 6 months ago, like 6 months feels like such a long time ago. I was like friends with people that I'm not friends with anymore. Like it so much is
Your
happened,
20s
you know?
are like that. No, that's unique to you guys, perhaps. Like the development, that's on the person to take responsibility for themselves. But 20s are weird because when you're in high school, everyone's the same maturity level, more or less.
Yeah.
Right? Then you get in your 20s and people start to grow and evolve. Some people stay the same. And so the people you hung out with or are friends with, all of a sudden you're 22.
Yeah.
And they're still 17. And now you've transformed or whatever. And it's a mismatch. So people start to go their different paths and their different ways and lose friends and these sorts of things.
Nah,
So
you know what else is really weird, Aaron?
don't do it.
Popping bees. You gotta ask me, bro.
I forgot about this.
You gotta ask me.
I forgot about
poppin'
this.
bees?
What's poppin' bees? Welcome back to Beer Sauce. My name is Nicholas
My
Posvat.
name is DREKZHU, egotistical zoo.
And guys, give a warm welcome back to
I can't do it.
Aaron Johnstone.
Thank you.
The man of the
I
hour.
love that you guys do that thing, but there's something in me that just can't. You know,
It'll come.
it
It'll
can't
come one
match
day.
your
To be
energy with
cringe is
that.
to be free, Aaron.
Yeah,
that's what they're
a
saying.
really good
That's what they're
point,
saying
actually.
these
That's
days.
True. That's self-consciousness. I should lean into it next time.
Guys, today we have a little special treat for you. As you know, Aaron, goated
The
therapist.
special treat is just us unleashing
Yeah,
our
the special
our
treat
inner
today
demons.
is going to be me and DZ showing the uglier side of ourselves today. And, you know, Aaron gonna ask us some questions. And at the end of the episode, Aaron's gonna give us a diagnosis.
Allegedly.
Alleged.
Diagnosis.
I mean, I'll say the disclaimer right now. I'll also put in the description, like, obviously, Aaron's gonna diagnose us today, but it's not gonna be like an actual professional diagnosis. We're gonna have an hour and a half conversation. You can't really get a lot from that, but Aaron's gonna try his best to estimate what the fuck is wrong with me and DZ.
There's nothing wrong with me, bro.
Yeah.
You said we're gonna look at the ugly stuff or something like that, right? So I mentioned this guy last time, Carl Jung. He had this term, the shadow. Have you ever heard of it?
Like the dark passenger, you could call it.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Yo, holy shit.
Your shadow, it's not
Dexter.
it's not necessarily this evil, awful thing, but it's the part of yourself that you don't want to own. It's the part of yourself that you're uncomfortable talking about. Right?
I pretend it's not there.
That's exactly what he said. That's what people do. Yeah. You push it off to the shadow. You say, "Oh, that's not part of me," and then it's just in your unconscious, and then it has free reign to do its thing and pop up whenever it likes. So he says the healthiest thing you can do is shine a light on that shadow. In fact, there's often a lot of creative energy or a lot of potential in it if you're willing to take a look at it. It sounds like that's what you guys are.
Yeah, that's what we're ready for.
To do today.
That's what we're going to be doing today. DZ, your
for me
shadow,
is-
brother.
I want to say you did that last time. Both of you did that, actually, but you in particular. You were talking about getting angry at your girlfriend or something like that. That's all shadow work. It's not fun to go on a podcast and talk about,
like being like a
freak-
dick.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's absolutely, it's true. And so last time I was
put it
here,
frank.
Yeah.
here was my take. I had a bunch of takeaways. Overall, incredibly impressed by both of you.
Thank you.
And
Right back at you.
And your vulnerability. I felt as Nico, you were someone who had gone to therapy before, and Derek, you were someone who hadn't. And I don't mean that as an insult. What I meant was
the truth.
You had the language. You had talked about your stuff before.
Yeah. Friday, 1:30 to 2:30.
That's
That's
right.
still
That's
my time,
exactly
motherfuckers.
right.
That's still my time.
Whereas Derek, you were willing to go into all of it, but you could see that you hadn't put much language to it before. Then I watched the episode with Larry, and you seemed like you were 3 years older than when I talked to you.
Yeah.
But it was interesting because I have a client who watches all your stuff, and he told me you said at some point you weren't happy with the way you came across in that.
Holy shit, was this like last week?
Wait, I said that literally last week.
Wait, one of your clients is
Yo!
That's actually
I have
crazy.
clients who are diehard BeerSos.
Yo! Thank you, guys.
literally said this.
They want a couple of them wanted a shout out today. I can't do it for confidentiality.
Oh,
reasons,
okay.
but They wanted a BeerSos shout out.
The reason I didn't resonate with what I said in the episode is just because it's been 5 months, and like how Nika was saying before, different guy in my head. When I watch that back, I don't see myself. I just see this past, maybe even loser or pussy version of myself.
What was it about the way you showed up or what you said or didn't say in that episode that you looked back on and kind of cringed or didn't like?
Well, I think one, just to get it out the way, I think watching myself be vulnerable on camera again is automatically going to be a little bit cringe, but just different problems.
Okay.
I don't resonate with my problems as much back then as I do now.
Yeah.
And it's probably just lifestyle changes as well. Like I'm happier with myself than I was before.
Good.
Whether that just be diet, exercise, whatever. But I just don't like how I portray myself because I perceive it. I don't know if this is objectively true, but I just perceived it like I was like whining.
That's not at all how I perceived it. I was, and I'm not saying mine's right and yours is wrong, but two things you said there. Or one's good. One's that I have new problems, so I'm growing, I'm evolving.
Yeah.
But you're at a point where when you look back at your old problems or where you were, you can't help but cringe or
Be
say
like,
that.
man, fuck this guy. What's he talking about?
Yeah, no, I relate 100% to what you're
It's
saying.
okay, thank you.
It's so, like, even episodes from, like, 2 weeks ago, I'll watch it back and I'm like, the fuck is wrong with Nicholas, bro? Is he okay?
What do you, like, what's your most common thing about yourself that you look at and you go, oh, fuck.
Damn, why he's wrong for that? Like, why is he saying that? Like, he's wrong.
Like, you're wrong?
Yeah, like, my old takes, even from, like, 2 weeks ago, are, like, honestly, like, wrong because I've just learned more.
Well, you have like 2 weeks of more knowledge.
No,
bro.
like 3 weeks ago, I said on the show, White Claws are ass. But now I'm a White Claw, like,
Yeah.
lover. And it's only been 3 weeks.
And that's because I put you on.
That's the respect. That's the demon right there, yeah.
It's interesting. So you guys, deal with insecurity, which we all do, or self-conscious, and you're saying, oh, shit, today we're going to go for the viewers or whatever, there was some tension when I got here. I hope
Yeah.
that's okay to say. You were a
course.
little more
Yeah.
tense than usual because you said we're going to go into our shadow or our dark stuff kind of thing, right? I lost my train of thought.
Well, it's always
No.
hard. It's always trickier to kind of reveal that part of you.
Yeah.
But honestly, the hardest part of it, and I think honestly the hardest part, the part that me and DZ are the most kind of concerned about is expressing ourselves properly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't care if what I'm saying is ugly. I care that I've said it correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've said it
yeah.
authentically.
So I found my train of thought. Here's what I was gonna say. So you have this issue of opening up and being judged and these sorts of things. But what's interesting about you guys is you do the exact opposite of what you think two young men with that problem would do.
Huh?
Bro, because we're
We're
not
the
like that,
goats.
bro. We're not
You know
like
what
we're
I'm
not
saying?
consistent like that.
Well, you're saying I don't want to be judged, or oh my god, I'm so cringe. So you think someone would go hide in a cave and not put themselves out there? You do the exact opposite. Every week you put the cameras on.
Yeah, I don't
and
know
you
what
conti-
that is.
I think it's a human being recognizing an area in which they're underdeveloped and which they need to grow, that consciously they're afraid of, or consciously they resist, but unconsciously they know they need to do that in order to become the person they want to become. And so that's what you're doing.
And then we might as well make some money off of
And
it.
we
Yeah,
record
that
the
always-
whole motherfucking
And
thing.
show it to
anyway.
y'all.
Yeah, but think about
Yeah.
it, So let's say you guys grow up and you have a particular set of experiences that leave you with a belief or a feeling of I'm unlovable or I'm broken or there's something wrong with me sort of thing. And so one of the ways I view BeerSos is it's more than this, obviously, but it's like you guys are going and gathering information that contradicts that belief. Now, you said earlier it doesn't feel right. So there's somewhere in there that's going, no, this is bullshit, or people don't mean it, or something like that. But I'm telling you, I see it. I hear it from my clients. I hear it from my friends in their mid-30s. I hear it from my mom in her late 60s. They love you guys. And so you're gathering this mountain of evidence that there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. Oh, there is. There's something wrong with
Oh,
everyone.
yeah. I mean, that's why you're here
most,
today.
Most
There's
definite.
plenty wrong with everyone, right? But
Yeah.
you're going on, you're putting yourselves out in the world, and the world is responding. And saying positive things, and then you're in this conflict or this contradiction because you have these insecurities or these anxieties, or oh my god, 3 weeks ago I said something and
White Claws are goated. I'm sorry,
I'm
guys.
sorry, White
Guys,
Claws.
I'm sorry.
I say this, but it's interesting to see it all
Yeah.
play out like that.
Yeah.
It's interesting for me because I don't fully have a grasp on this, but I have such a high ego. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, I can't even take that information and be like, oh, these people think highly of me. Like, I can't
Yeah.
truly
Oh, it's
believe
time.
that.
It's
So,
time.
It's like I'm on both ends of the spectrum where you would think a person with a high ego like me, like I would say I have a really big ego.
Yeah.
To the point where, now this is the ugly, like I think I'm better than everyone.
Yeah.
I think my values that I've manually constructed because I'm like that is perfect.
Well, one, I think the fact of you just acknowledging that is impressive, and your ego isn't acknowledging that, so a deeper part of yourself is saying that, a more conscious part. All the ego is a defense mechanism.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right? And so the bigger the ego, the bigger the shame, the bigger the worthlessness, these sorts of things. So the ego forms to protect you from feeling that way you don't want to feel. So it's not that you're some narcissistic egomaniac sort of thing. It's that you have pain somewhere in there, or shame, or feeling of whatever you can tell me as we get into it. And this ego or persona or this thing evolves to tell you that you're better than everyone else, or to flip out and get angry. And it's just a big, giant defense mechanism. That's all it
It
is.
feels so good though.
Yeah, it does.
Like I'm shooting that up like every day. Like the thing is, like it's probably not the most consistent feeling that I feel, but it's like the most feel good feeling I have a lot of the time is ego.
Yeah. How does your ego get stroked?
How does my ego get
Like you're saying, I shoot it up, or it's the best feeling. Like
Yeah.
what's the source of that, or what happens? In your life?
overcompensations, consistent overcompensations for things like
What do you do?
let's say for example, negative comment, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just better than this person. This person's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I know what they look like. I'll literally ask people that send us hate comments, what do you look like? And then
yeah.
I'll just like make fun of them.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I'm better than this. My diet is better, clearly. my lifestyle's better, my values are better. I'm more logical than you. I'm more logical than you is a big one.
Oh yeah.
I'm definitely more rational than this person. Like, you're a fucking pussy for hating whatever. That's just an
Yeah.
example.
So when you're doing that, like, do you know you're doing it and saying, fuck it, I'm going for it anyways? Do you do it? And then
I'm
after-
better at realizing it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, or even in like person, I'll like overcompensate just because I just want to, like, manually.
Yeah. What do you do? Like in person?
I have more followers. I have more money. I have more
Oh,
accomplishments.
so it's just thoughts you think in your head.
If I'm close with the person, I'll just say it too.
Oh yeah. How's that usually go over?
I don't think I don't think I've ever gotten that side of what's interesting is Derek talks about his ego, and I'm not gonna act like I'm completely blind to it. Like I can see it, but it's never like something that he directly uses to impact me.
I have a good
my
example.
Okay.
Okay, let's hear it.
When I was in San Francisco, something happened where Nico had to call me,
Yeah.
and like, how do we word
I
this?
can say it, and then I can just
Yeah,
leave.
yeah.
I honestly, I might not even cut it
Something
out of the show,
happened
depending.
out of our control, and
Yeah.
I felt like it was a personal attack for me and you.
Yeah.
And I was like really drunk at the time, and I was in a good mood. All right,
Feeling good.
DZ drunk,
Feeling good.
feeling
Got a
good.
buzz going.
No, a blackout coming.
Yeah.
And it was something that was out of my control. So it's a control thing.
Yeah.
And I will overcompensate when I feel like I have no control.
Yeah.
A lot of the times it's like control over how people perceive me. But in this instance, it's like I couldn't remove this thing from like the world.
Yeah. To kind of further explain what actually happened, and I honestly will think if I want to leave this in or not, I might cut it out. And I was freaking out. I called Derek, and that.
And then all of a sudden, I'm running around the streets of San Francisco yelling, I have so much more fucking power than you. You will never be anything like me.
Yeah, that's extreme.
Just in
behavior.
public.
It's extreme behavior. But my hunch is, I mean, we've only met twice now. My hunch is, you're not as bad of a guy as you say. I think you got this story.
I agree with that.
You got this story
Yeah.
in your head. I'm curious about. We'll learn more about it. I think your story probably protects you somehow, or is functional. So I'm sure you're
I like being bad. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I think it's a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
distorted, or it's a little blown up, or something like that. Like I think you're trying to convince me, or you're trying to convince
trying to
Larry, or you're trying to
convince myself, even.
something like that.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm this egomaniac. I don't know if you are. I'm okay.
And
you
I've
lose your-
had these conversations with my girlfriend too, and she says exact same thing. Like, why do you think of yourself like that? And my answer is like, because I want to be.
Yeah, so there's this old therapist. He's in his 90s, older than Larry even. He's
Whoa,
well
holy
known.
smokes, we
or
gotta get him on
well
there.
known. And he writes a lot of books for therapists, and most therapists love him. And he's got a great question. He'll say, "What's the payoff?" Simply. So anytime a client's got some, what's the payoff? And implicit in that is there's no random human behavior. Everything is functional in some sense. And so you tell yourself you're an egomaniac, you tell your girlfriend you're an egomaniac, you play it up. What's the payoff to that? What does that do for you? No, you do have an ego. You do lose your cool. We could gather countless examples of you being less than ideal as a human being. But
Damn.
my God. Well, that's how the brain works, by the way.
Yeah.
If we believe something about ourselves, our brain will just forget every experience that contradicts it and cling on to the time we got drunk and said, I have more power than you, or whatever it is you said. But what do you think that does for you? What's the function of it? And you might not come to an answer today.
I
and
don't
that's
think
fine.
I have an answer,
Just
but
plant that seed.
to give context, I've talked to some people in the DMs because we've talked about like how we are in relationships and my ego in previous episodes. And I've had some messages that are really nice and I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Saying like, hey, I have narcissism, or like, this is my experience. And when I hear that, like, I like it. There's something that I like about that because I think I interpret it as like something that's somebody that's successful. They always get what they want. And I like to place myself in that type of group.
It's better to be called a narcissist or to be in that group than to be not seen or to be nothing or to be pathetic. 'Cause
Yeah.
if you're the narcissist, you're in
People
charge.
respect me.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. You're powerful or
Yeah,
something.
that's
like
something
that.
I deeply want is
Yeah.
power, respect, and influence.
You know, just about the comments. I've been thinking about this lately. I think we need our hateful comments in social media. I think we need that pushback. Not that you need to listen to it or believe it. I think that's part of the social media experience. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
It's like you need the hangover if you're gonna drink a lot.
yeah,
Like, it's part of it, bro. It's
yeah,
part of
I
it.
you don't even need to do anything with but you know, if you guys are putting stuff out and 500,000 people are seeing it or whatever the numbers are,
Yeah.
not everyone's
yet,
gonna
one
love
day.
you. And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I posted something like a month ago, and apparently I don't blink that much, or I stare intensely.
Really?
Yeah, I've never even seen that.
Yeah,
Wait, let's
so
see.
now I'm gonna think
Oh,
about
God.
my blinking. So I woke up, and on TikTok, all these people were calling me a psychopath. And
Are you
they're
serious?
calling me? There are people that say this guy reminds me of Jeffrey Dahmer. Do you know who that is?
Yeah,
Serial killer. And so I looked at it. I thought, what the fuck is this kind of thing? You know, but you kind of. I don't know what I'm trying to say exactly. You need a little bit. That's part of the social media experience.
I mean,
and it's a guru. It's like there's so much to work with there, to go on and to have someone saying some hateful thing about you, and then to overreact or you know, you can use those comments as kind of emotional work for yourself if you choose to view it that way, or you can just, you know, freak out and go on a rant. That feels good too.
Doesn't it just get so frustrating when you know someone's worse than you and they just are talking shit?
I had this realization. I think one of the reasons I like you guys is you guys remind me of my friend group.
Oh, let's fucking
So
go.
I have great friends, and we've known each other since kindergarten. We've gone through life together. It's like a second family. But like the currency of my friendship is comedy. Is can we make each other laugh? So when I get called a psychopath on TikTok, I know that that's gonna make my friends laugh.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Right,
true.
so I know I can screenshot that and then put that in the group chat, and everyone's gonna have a laugh about it, and then start calling me Jeffrey Dahmer or something.
Yeah.
It's like something I can take and do with that's productive and beautiful kind of thing. So I think that kind of blocks me from actually having to. I don't know. That's just a theory of
Humor
mine,
as a
but
coping mechanism, bro.
I think you can get to a point where you don't get affected by it. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, you always kind of want to take feedback from people. You know, you don't want to be blind to what other people are saying. So if the whole world's telling you you're an asshole, you probably are an asshole. And you might want to reflect on that. But there's something about the phone. Maybe it's because I'm a millennial. The phone doesn't feel real to me.
Yeah.
What I mean by when someone says something in a TikTok, I don't even look at TikTok. I have an account, but like, and I've noticed Instagram's way friendlier than TikTok. I don't know if you guys have noticed that or not. Like TikTok's savage, for me at least. Like no one says anything mean on Instagram. That TikTok, I get ripped to shreds. But there's something about it being on a phone that doesn't emotionally connect to me. So when I look at Steve
391.
yeah, 391 from whatever calling me this or saying that, it doesn't land.
Damn.
Well, maybe that's also because I know that there's like, I don't actually feel very high self-esteem, but like I feel high self-esteem. Like I actually feel it because I just overcompensate all the time. I don't let myself feel bad.
What did you feel earlier at the start, or even before we recorded, when I was talking about how I feel about you guys and about how the clients I'm working with and all the great things they have to say, and how my mom watched the episode and was blown away by how incredible you two, like, how did that feel in your body just to receive that information?
Not as good as I wanted it to be. Like you would think that I honestly didn't take any of it in. Like,
Yeah.
it
So,
didn't make me feel better about
Not a
myself.
rhetorical question, the
Yeah.
slightest, but what do you think stops you from just kind of letting that sink in, or just to say yes to that? There's something in you fighting it, or
I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe how I view myself.
Yeah, and
stops
that's a good place to be. Maybe not for a podcast for content,
Yeah.
but in therapy, you know, if someone's just talking and has all the answers, not much is happening. All they're really doing is they've hit play on a tape recorder, and now they're just telling you a story they've told 20 times already.
Yeah.
But in therapy, you'll get to these places that are felt, and the client won't have language for it, and they'll do just what you did. They'll go, I don't know, and then you just kind of hold them.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's,
Yeah.
you know, and because you haven't been asked that question, but it's there. There's something in you resisting that positive affirmation, and so to put your attention on it, and to ask, well, what are you doing in there? What's resisting? Why are you resisting? It's like you enter this territory that you've never looked at before, and you don't have language for it. Whereas when we talk about your mom or your dad or something, you have the language for that.
Yeah.
You know, that's been mapped.
I mean, could I ask a question?
You sure
Yeah.
can.
What are you overcompensating for?
Rationally, not. I don't know. Like, I'm overcompensating because I don't feel, and I like know this objectively, that I don't feel as highly about myself as I portray it. But I am the guy that boasts about how charismatic I am. Like, I always do that.
You are charismatic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I do all these things that make myself seem like a valuable person externally.
Sorry to interrupt. I think you're identified with what you consider to be your flaws and your strengths, or the part about you that resonate with people that I'm talking about, that your fans are talking about. You're going, that's not me. That's an act. Or no, I don't need to deserve credit for that. That's my persona. But all the shitty things I do, yeah, that's me. You know, there's a quote I heard the other day by this
Bro's cooking.
Franz. What's that?
No, I'm just saying you're cooking.
Franz Kafka. Do you know who that is? I
Like,
don't even know who it is. Anyways,
Fuck that
some
guy.
old
Franz,
guy
shut
lost
up.
instead.
Yo, shut the fuck up,
He
Franz.
said, "I have the true feeling of being myself only when I am unbearably unhappy."
Yo, Franz, we like that, bro. Like, we're tight like that, Franz.
And do you know Nirvana, the band?
Yeah.
Oh, he
There's
knows.
a line, "Smells like Teen Spirit," Kurt Cobain. He says, "I feel stupid and contagious." Both those quotes to me, or lines, are kind of getting at the same thing. Are human beings who have a felt sense of worthlessness, and they're saying, that's me. They're identified with it. So we all, I don't know if we all do, but many people have that experience from time to time, and some people have it more than others, and that might be the case for you. But they're saying, that's my home. That's who I am.
Well, why can't I like myself? Like, why?
Or
Like,
even to pose a different question to the table. I don't want to take us off track, but
No.
Take us
do
off
you, Derek? Do you think
I like these
you
questions. Do I think?
I'm looking for a word. Do you think you accentuate? Is that the right word?
Accentuate?
Your ego more than it actually is.
Exaggerate?
Yes, exaggerate. Do you
Yeah.
think you actually exaggerate your negative qualities more about yourself?
Yeah.
To kind of overshadow the really good traits in you.
Yeah. When I can't even think of good traits in me, but I know they're there. It's just they're not things that I think about or reflect on, but I'll focus on the bad parts and even exaggerate them because
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I'll ask you a question. Don't think logically. Just
All
let an answer come, and if it doesn't come, that's
Okay.
completely fine. But just, what do you like about yourself?
I like my charisma. I like that I can make people laugh.
Yeah,
I like that I'm cool.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I'm cool.
yeah.
Um,
So where did that come from? That place. I'm asking weird questions, I know, but you 1 second you go, I can't even think what I like about yourself, and then I go, I'm going to ask you a question as if it's going to be some magical, complicated,
true.
and I literally just ask you, what do you like about yourself? And you give me 3 things like that.
unless prompted, I don't think about the positive things.
Well, so they're worth thinking about.
On God.
Yeah.
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 Well, you know, Larry, you guys do know Larry. He told me something once. He said, in 55 years of doing therapy, his number one takeaway, he said, people need to be kinder to themselves. And
Yeah.
that doesn't sound like any great insight. You think he would have something smarter or more kind of with a little more oomph to it, but it's so true.
Yeah.
People are their own worst enemies.
I wish Derek could see himself the way I see him.
That's what I was talking about earlier when I said I'll talk to a client, and they're wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I have so much respect for them. I get excited to see them. They're this incredible, flawed.
Yeah.
Everyone's flawed, right? But I'm thinking this person is correct. Like I have a client. She is a ball of anxiety, and she has very good reason.
I'm a guy, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
He's right here.
And if I had the childhood she had, I would be a ball of anxiety too. And so she comes to therapy, and her nervous system is in a fight or flight response. She is frozen. Okay?
Yeah.
And she is stuttering and she struggles to make eye contact with me, which is fine. I say, look,
It's
wherever
because you're not blinking, man.
So that there's,
Yeah.
that was beautiful. That was absolutely. So today I'm just going to glaze you. I'm just going to highlight.
DZ
You have a story.
Fuck.
My fault.
You have a story about yourself. It's
Yeah.
partially true. It's that I'm a bad guy. Okay? And
Yeah.
I'm a bad guy too. I'm a good guy as well. And your brain has collected all this evidence to convince you of you being a bad guy. And so that story is reinforced. And that's your autopilot setting. That's your home. And so it's really easy for you to tell yourself that story, right? And so what you don't need to do anything. You can decide if you want to do this. But your life will give you moments that prove that contradict that story. And if you're not conscious and if you don't start to collect them, then that story just persists. And how old are you?
20, almost 23.
Okay, and you'll be almost 33 one day and sitting here talking about what a bad guy you are and what an egomaniac you're. Anyways,
Hell no.
anyways, so this client, she is just a ball of anxiety and has every right to be so. And just coming to therapy is such an act of courage, in my opinion, right? Because her coming to therapy is the equivalent of me jumping out of a plane with a parachute, right? And so she comes and she's stuttering and her nervous, and I know she doesn't want to be there because who the hell wants to feel that way? But she does it anyways, and she's determined to get better, sort of thing. And I sit there and I think this woman is incredible. She hates herself. She thinks she's pathetic. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So people's perception of themselves can be so distorted. It's such a shame because you're stuck with yourself, and I'm stuck with myself. I can only be this guy. So how I feel about this guy really matters. And the same applies to you.
Where do you think this thought process comes from? Or like,
I
you
imagine-
can make it personal for me. Like, why?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
I imagine your dad killing himself when you were 10. Well, in all seriousness, early childhood trauma sets the foundation. And there's probably more to it than that.
Yeah.
Like my parents loved me unconditionally. That was never a doubt. When someone doesn't get that, okay, it's kind of like a house is being built. And the way you're treated by your parents is the foundation of your psyche.
Yeah.
And then everything gets built on that. Doesn't mean it's your destiny to hate yourself your entire life, but it's like everything emerges out of that. And so I only know a little bit about you two, but it sounds like you had some pretty intense stuff happen at an early age. And the little boy, which we talked about.
Fuck that. No, he's a good guy.
respect
He's
that
a
little
good
boy.
guy.
Guys, we
Yeah,
learned.
there
We-
you go.
guys,
there you go.
the little boy.
We
He's a
love
good-
our little
he's a
boys.
good dude.
We
He's a
love
good
our little
dude.
boys.
Yeah.
Okay. The little boy, a little kid doesn't go, okay, dad's being an asshole or mom's being crazy, or it doesn't go, mom's being crazy because she has borderline personality disorder, or it doesn't go, oh, dad's upset because he's an alcoholic or he's a narcissist, these sorts of things. The little kid goes, it's my fault. It's because I'm bad. They might not think this, although I've worked with children who literally think this and will explicitly say, the reason my parents got divorced is because I'm bad or something like that. But they internalize it. That's all the kid can do. They're not logical enough. They're not mature enough to go, oh, mom has a mental health disorder. That's why she's freaking out at me all the time. Or dad's a narcissist and drinks too much. And that's not about me. That's his problem. That's not what happens. The kid internalizes that energy and then it's in them. And then they grow up and they have a successful podcast and they're in a loving relationship with a girlfriend who loves them. And they go, I'm a piece of shit.
Damn. I mean, something I do want to ask DZ is, okay, like, let me know if you disagree with this, but it's just a blanket question. Do you think you show the closest people in your life, do you think you purposely show them the worst of you to see if they'll stay?
Oh yeah, I'd be testing,
Yeah.
bro. It's because it's like if you're about to jump out of a plane, we're doing a plane analogy again. I need to know my parachute works. It's I've tested my girlfriend consciously, like because also it's ethical. It's an ethical thing. If I'm gonna date somebody for a long time, and I'm the dick if I don't test you and show you the truth.
Have you
little
ever
bit.
consciously been like, okay, I'm gonna be a dick right now in front of Nico to see if how he react?
Not you, but consciously, that's the word that's like quotations, because if you're drunk, how consciously are you doing it? But I've definitely done it when I was drunk.
You've been a dick in front of me to see how I'll react.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was talking to a client this morning, and she's in a new relationship. She has a lot of anxiety about that, and she said, "I'm trauma dumping." You know that term?
That's
of
like
course.
basically what
People
we do
love
here.
Okay.
People love that
And,
word.
I go, okay. What are you doing that for?
I thought you were
Just kinda-
supposed to do that in therapy.
No, with her new love interest, she's
okay,
doing
okay.
it,
Oh,
right?
okay.
And she's going. What we kind of discovered is she feels it's just a matter of time before this guy realizes how awful I am.
That's
So
what I think.
it's inevitable he's going to reject me, and I'm going to get my heart broken. So I want to get it over with. And so she's, in my opinion, she's playing it up a bit too, or maybe not playing it up, but you want to open up to people. You want to show them who you actually are. That's how you actually connect with someone. If you just sit around talking about the weather, right? You say, here's who I am, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Then they actually get to know you. But the way she's doing it's kind of neurotic, I would say, or a bit unconscious. And so it's a very ironic way in which she's protecting herself, I would say. I'm going to tell you how awful I am before you can tell me how awful I am. I'm going to beat you to the punch kind of thing.
Is that what you do?
Definitely that I resonate with that a lot more in my romantic relationship.
Yeah.
There have been times where I've just been like I'm a narcissist, right? Like, this is what you signed up for, as in, like, it's not an ultimatum, but it's sort of just me putting it out there so you know the ugly part. Not because I expect the breakup to happen, but I kind of maybe could be reaching out for some sort of just confirmation that that's not gonna happen.
Keep going with that.
Because, like, yeah, I don't think I'm a valuable person in a relationship either.
I don't deserve you. Something like that.
Yeah,
Don't let me put words in your mouth if that doesn't
more
fit.
like, I mean, it's not deserve. I think I deserve things. It's more of, I am not a good man. And
Well, so here's another question. Try not to think. Just let your mind kind of go wherever. I'm not a good person. When did you learn that? When did you first learn you're not a good person? Just trust whatever your mind gives
Like,
you.
20.
20?
Yeah, after my fuck all men phase that I overcompensated for.
What's that? Or what was the fuck all men phase?
I was just in like a very pro, like, politically correct phase for like a year, and then
Yeah.
I overcompensated it. And maybe like 20, 21, where I gained consciousness as well. Like,
Yeah.
I can't be like a bad person before 18. Like, I was literally a kid.
You were a teenager, you know?
But that's like 20, 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have something? to
Oh
say?
no, I was just saying for like the past 2 years, bro. Is
Past
thought
2
this.
years.
I gotta like your willingness to talk about these things. I think is the admirable quality.
Yeah.
The details of it. Okay, fair enough. You've acted a certain way you're not
Yeah.
proud of or whatnot. But I really respect this. I have no problem respecting my clients. Anyone who comes and is willing to take an honest look at themselves and their life automatically gains my respect. And so far it hasn't been funny, and that's completely fine. And so you're going for something different today. You're diving right into it.
Well,
And
because I'm
yeah,
really
that's-
trying to think of my answers as best I
can see that. I can
and it's
see
like
that.
it's kind of confusing sometimes, y'all.
Exactly. And so it's weird to do on a podcast because
Yeah.
I ask you a question, you kind of don't really know. and
It's not like
oh,
I've
fuck.
thought about these things.
Exactly,
Either.
but your willingness to do it shows an effort for you to grow and evolve.
Yeah.
And that's an admirable quality.
Because I know, like, objectively, if I get rid of this, I'll be like the best.
I was also going to say, my hunch is you probably learned I'm not a good person much earlier than 20. I don't
That's
wanna-
when I've first really thought it,
Yeah.
but thinking and then actually, like, consciously,
Yeah.
I would say 20. But why do you say that?
Just because I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But these things usually start out pretty early. Like you said, consciously, it might come into our consciousness where we think it or we start talking it at 20 or whatnot, because the 10-year-old doesn't think in those terms, or the 7-year-old or the 13-year-old. But these things, I think, usually go back earlier.
Do you feel guilty for the stuff you did in the past? And is that why you make yourself seem like such a bad person? Or no?
I don't feel guilty, no.
Yeah.
Well,
No, I'm not even
on
talking
a blanket statement.
I'm talking even like as an example, like moldy cheese 89 stuff.
No.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I was a kid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't feel
What's
bad.
moldy cheese?
Nah,
89?
we can't say
We
that.
can't even say it on the show. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
you know when you're a teenager you find out what the internet is and then
And you
you're
start being
responsible with it.
mean.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
when you say, "Are you guilty?" the first thing that comes to my mind
Yeah.
is my past relationship. That's where I was probably at my worst.
Yeah.
And at that time, like mentally, but also just how I treated everyone else around me. But I don't feel guilty about it. And the
Yeah.
reason I don't is because I'm good now. But if I was in a bad spot now, I would feel guilty about it. You know?
I want to say this. I think being a human being is a very weird experience because we're simultaneously conscious and unconscious at the same time. So at any given moment, we have free will. And yet we've each had a particular set of experiences that have molded us and shaped us and influenced the way we perceive and operate in the world. And so we act in patterns, predictable patterns of behavior over time. And at some point in our adult life, we go, fuck, I'm the problem. I am creating unnecessary amounts of suffering for myself. And I'm not exactly sure why I'm doing it. And I'm not exactly sure how to stop. And that realization is so important. It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
It can cause us to cringe or these sorts of things. But that's an awakening, I would say, not to get too philosophical. That's what we're talking about here. That's what's happening is you're having this realization. You're getting to a point where you're going, fuck, you know, I'm on autopilot or I'm acting, or in the past I was just doing this. It was me. I was choosing to do so, but there's something going on here. And that's usually the point where people come to therapy.
Dude, you know what I was
recruiting
expecting?
you
He's
for-
recruiting.
I'm recruiting
He's giving
you
me a
for a
referral code.
Yeah, I mean, how do you feel about DZ's unwillingness to look at therapy as an option?
I don't try and convince anyone who doesn't want to go to therapy to go to therapy.
Okay, here's the thing. If you drop, okay, let's say I go to bed tonight. Next thing I wake up, actually, you guys fucking put like something in my drink, and I'm just in therapy now. I would do it.
Yeah.
Like you transported me while I was asleep.
And I'm not trying to push you to do it. I'm just saying that's the point, and that point is different in your story, or in your story, and my story, and everyone's story. But the point in which people usually come to therapy is kind of when they make that realization, or they get that sense of fuck, there's something going on here, you know. And
if it
go ahead.
regularly negatively affected my life, I would be more inclined. But I would say things are working out for me pretty well. Whereas if things weren't, I'd probably be in therapy right now. The thing is, the results are coming in. I'm like a 50 and 20 record. You know, that's a good win loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then why the story? Why the egomaniac narcissist?
Well, because I
piece of
still lost 20 times in my 50-20 record. Like I
gotcha,
want to be
gotcha.
70 and 0. You know.
Yeah, I was expecting to come into today's conversation, Derek go, yeah, like I feel like I'm a narcissist, like these textbook traits, and then you kind of almost back that up. But you like went under that and like really went for the
Well,
heart
do you
right there,
want
which I
my
respect.
You said you want to do it at the end. I can get.
I'm saying
Hit me now.
hit him now, hit him now.
Well, it's for both of you, I would say.
Oh.
Wait, what do you
not
mean?
that you're this. Also, so you said when we were met. First, I gotta say something
Yeah.
Oh my god.
to the viewers.
Okay.
Or not to the viewers, but one of the great things about coming on this podcast is I get to be in a BeerSos group chat. And so we interact and we send emojis and exclamation marks. And Derek's nowhere to be seen.
I don't like texting. It's okay.
It's just me.
Here's
and Nico
what
having a
happens.
conversation.
Here's what happens.
With exclamation marks, talking about how excited we are to do this.
Okay,
episode,
I'll send
and then
memes.
Derek just ghosts me. He
Yeah.
triggers my inner child.
No.
What are you doing, man? What are you doing?
The little boy feels.
I've
rejected.
abandoned you.
Yeah.
No, okay. I don't like texting. I'm not a good
fair enough.
texter.
I'm just
I'll send
teasing you.
memes. I'll send memes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
I'll send more memes.
Like, I feel like, I mean, let me know your thoughts about this. A majority of the time, usually when we have guests, I mean, not for Dax or anything, but I feel like I'm definitely the one communicating or setting it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I have to think about a text, for me, that's like, I'd rather do the dishes for like 10 minutes than fucking think about
No,
a text, bro.
I'm kind of with you. I'm just teasing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, bro.
What the fuck?
I went to Brazil for a month, and when I was there, I hardly used my phone, and it broke my phone addiction. I didn't try. I didn't set a goal like I'm gonna not go on my phone. It just naturally happened, and then I came back home, and I could feel that addictive part, that kind of pull to just obsessively be
Where
looking.
are you obsessed with reels? What do you watch on your phone?
Well, I'm just always getting messages and stuff, and I give
Ah,
clients
phone
my
blowing
notes.
up, bro. Phone
Not like
blowing up.
that. It's just I text clients. It's easier than email, and I go on Instagram sometimes and whatnot. And so I've been making a conscious effort to not look at that. So I appreciate it. But I was going to say this. So you guys messaged and said we want to be diagnosed. My diagnosis: you guys are too attached to the idea of being diagnosed. Okay. So
Holy shit, the twist.
yeah,
Dude, this is like a plot. The plot twist, bro.
So you guys are incredible. And I know that's going to make you feel awkward or uncomfortable. It doesn't fit. I'm dead serious. Like my friends, they shouldn't like you. They're in their mid-30s with kids and stuff. But these two 22-year-olds talking about jerking off in a sock and white stepdad.
Whoa. That was sock was you, bro.
One time.
Hear me out.
Oh, sorry,
There's a genuine admiration for you that goes beyond those guys are funny. So they're speaking to the essence of you. There's something that people are connecting with. And to be doing what you're doing at 22 or 23 or whatever it is incredible. And so, but you could neurotically scurry around trying to figure out your diagnosis and what's wrong with me. You might come up with some answers. You might read up and go, oh shit, I think I have generalized anxiety or something like that.
Or if you put it in
But-
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
But in scurrying around trying to find that answer, you're reinforcing the story that I'm broken, that there's something fundamentally wrong and bad about me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I think you're kind of clinging to this idea of getting a diagnosis or solving a puzzle to prove that I'm a fuck up. And I just don't think it's true in the slightest. And so you guys remind me of the clients I work with who their perception of their self is so distorted. It really is. And it was interesting when I was giving you that compliment or glazing you guys or whatever, how you were saying, or you were talking about comments, positive comments, and how you don't buy it. That was my hunch. I assumed that would be true. And so I would really just, like, we live in stories. We have a story about ourselves. It might be conscious, might be unconscious, might be somewhere in the middle. And I would really start to think about the stories you guys are telling yourselves. And it's not as easy as just snapping your fingers. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm a great guy. I'm going to start thinking more positively. It's going to be a bit of a grind to adjust that story. But I don't think there's something wrong with you guys in the slightest. I think you can't connect to that.
I'm never going to therapy.
No.
Well, just you know, we don't have to do it now. It doesn't make for good content or what. But when you're getting a compliment or validation or these things we all want, and that awkward feeling, just sit with that. Just notice your own inability to take in positive feedback. I'm not bullshitting you. The people on the internet aren't bullshitting you, but just start to bring your consciousness to your own resistance. Yeah.
I think for the diagnosis thing, I don't know if this is you, but Gen Zs generally want to title things. I'm a neo-central,
Neo-Citran.
liberal, some shit like that. There's always titles. Like if you go on some the average 23-year-old university student has a title in their bio.
And I'm not against diagnosis, and I've worked with people who getting diagnosed has been very helpful for them because they get a diagnosis and they go, oh, that makes sense. You know, that's why I'm the way, or that explains everything. And it's very freeing for them actually. But I think there's this kind of like core kind of feeling of unworthy. Like there's this quote I like from this spiritual guy, Ram Dass. He says,
These guys are a lot of guys.
Yeah.
well, I'll tell you the story of Ram Dass. He's a wild man. But the line is, you were too busy holding on to your unworthiness. Okay. And so that's kind of, I'm exaggerating a bit here, but that's how I kind of see you guys.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I think that's
We
true.
need a glaze session next episode.
This turned
full
into a glaze
glaze.
session.
Yeah.
I can never take it. Like I don't think I can ever believe it. I don't think I can ever take it, to be honest.
What stops you? Not a rhetorical question.
I
know that's a weird question. It'll be hard to put language to, but just kind of.
What stops me from taking it? I don't know. I feel like it'll make me try less hard.
Okay. So that's the payoff.
Yeah.
And there's probably more to it than that, but that's the payoff. If I forget loving myself, if I like myself, if I believe all these kind things that people are saying about myself. And if I change my story, my old familiar story about what a loser I am, or that I'm broken or something, then I won't Then I won't do BeerSos. I won't.
For me, it's like, I feel like it'll maybe make me, I don't know, it'll make me content.
Yeah.
You know, it'll make me content, and that's not necessarily like a true thing. That's just like what my mind believes. I feel
Like you don't have any data to back that.
Yeah, exactly. I have zero data to back that. But
I think people operate in the world in a certain way, and it serves them up to a point.
Yeah.
And then they hit that point, and they need an update. So let's say your shame or your unworthiness or whatever drives you. It drives you to create BeerSos. It drives you to keep putting out content and build this life that you've built for yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's limited. I think it will get to a point where it's going to be counterproductive.
It's time to upgrade, y'all.
It's
Bro,
tough
you're
to
on
do.
Windows
Could I
7,
go
dude.
pee and then we upgrade it?
Yeah,
Aaron?
I'm going to
Thank
pee
you.
myself.
Okay, I gotta pee
low-key, I'm gonna
myself.
pee as well.
And I'm gonna eat a banana loaf.
Okay. Okay. Upgrade. It's time. Nicholas, lock in, bro.
That's you, bro.
Oh shit, my bad.
Okay.
Dude, I gotta start learning a bunch of quotes from random people so that I could be like, you know this guy, and then say the quote. That's your
Should I
thing.
quickly tell you who Ram Dass is?
Yeah.
Who the hell
Hit us with Ram Dass.
Okay, Ram Dass is the man.
Yeah.
Okay, Ram Dass was a psychology professor in Harvard in the 60s. And then he tried mushrooms. And he had an experience of seeing all his personas.
Oh
And he
shit.
realized, oh my God, my whole life is a lie. And everything that I'm teaching my students is bullshit. And so then he gave graduate students mushrooms and immediately got fired. And so he was disgraced. And then so he went off to India. And he met a guru, some guy there, and he spent months kind of becoming all spiritual and whatnot. And then he came back to America and wrote this book called Be Here Now, which was like the book of the hippie generation, right?
Mm-hmm.
All about spirituality. And he would give talks, and he was really verbal, and he was really good at articulating himself. So he'd give talks, and people from all over the world would come and listen. And what was cool about him, as he got older, he realized he was full of shit. He realized he was using spirituality as his ego. It was feeding his ego. So the older he got, the more he just, became aware of kind of his personas and whatnot. And he had a stroke at the end of his life, which took away his ability to talk.
Oh, that.
So he was a talker, and all of a sudden he couldn't talk, and he could barely say things. But at the end of his life, he said it was the greatest thing that ever happened to him, because it forced him to become present.
That's what I need.
Dudes
Anyway,
take
just
shrooms and start thinking they're the
Yeah,
goat.
yeah.
Do I
bro.
need some shrooms in my life? Maybe
I
it'll
don't know.
fix
I don't
me.
know.
Well, but for Ram Dom, he took shrooms and he started going on a crisis, man. He went to
Yeah.
India with a guru.
Crisis is a good way to, often it's a crisis that is the catalyst for growth.
I need me another crisis then.
But
Actually, no, I'm not ready for
But
that.
I don't want the best thing to happen to me to be when I'm 80, man.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
want it
point.
now.
Yeah, fair enough.
Nah, a gradual. You want to?
Yeah.
I don't want to ever peak. I
Yeah.
don't want to ever peak.
Okay,
Yeah.
Nico, let's psychoanalyze you. Let's
Fucking
all
ready,
right, what are we
Aaron.
going to talk about?
Oh my God. I mean, I'm just down for you to prod me. You know a little bit
Prod
about
him.
me. I think you know how I operate, kind of. And I think better like than the average person. You know how I kind of operate. So I'm just down to be prodded right now.
Say a little
Probe.
I'm interested in how you think you operate.
I think I operate.
Yeah, so who's your dark passenger?
My
Bring
dark
him out.
passenger.
Bring him out.
He's coming. I think I operate like I'm completely out of gas the whole time.
What do you mean?
Like I think I burn so much of my internal oil
Uh-huh.
that I'm always running on empty.
Like your mileage is shit.
Yeah, like my mileage is honestly dog shit because I feel like I'm burning so much oil on unnecessary things in life.
I see. So you're
You know?
saying I'm in a heightened state of anxiety?
Always. I mean,
Okay.
I've tried my best. I've done actually a lot in the past, like I think 6 months to a year to really diminish my anxiety.
Yeah.
But sometimes obviously you slip and you fall back into such an easy rhythm of anxiety.
Yeah.
Definitely, I feel like I'm kind of similar to Derek where I just cannot accept the good at all. Or even with BeerSos episodes, I edit it to I'll never think it's perfect.
I remember you saying this, yeah, that you stay up till 3 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah. Last week, Thursday, we celebrated
my
Derek
God.
Gerard's birthday.
Most drunk-
One of our closest friends.
Most drunk I've ever been in my
Yeah,
life.
I've never been so fucked up in my life. And I get, oh yeah?
No, I was just gonna say it's my friend's birthday a couple weekends ago, probably the same week. I don't drink, or I hardly drank, and we went out and we all got shit faced.
Wait, Aaron, I thought you get fucked up.
No,
I thought you
not in the
were.
slightest. I don't like drinking. I don't,
Ah.
it doesn't. It's interesting to work with people who have a drinking problem because alcohol just with my system or whatever just
Yeah,
makes me.
that might be a good
Anyways,
thing.
I was hungover for 2 weeks.
Oh my
Like when you get my age and you drink,
my God.
especially if you don't drink regularly and then you go out and it's not like
Okay, we got to do it now, bro.
Dude.
Yeah, so get it in now.
Yeah.
No, we
Anyways.
gotta respect DG.
Yeah. But
Keep going.
my point was Thursday, BeerSos episodes come out
Yeah.
Friday at 9 a.m. every day. Thursday, I didn't render the episode yet. Like
Yeah.
usually you have to render it on your computer, then you have to post it, you have to wait for it to post, and then you have
Takes
to
a
process
while.
the HD version of it, and then you have to put ads on the video.
Yeah.
I got home, what time did I get home at? 2:33?
Wait, but did you know that you were gonna do this
Yeah.
after drinking? But you knew that the whole plan, the whole day, I was sending memes about how we were gonna get shit faced.
And I knew I was going to do it anyway.
You still did that?
I've never been so fucked in my life. I got home 2:30, drank a cup of coffee.
Dude, you're
And
clinically insane.
I
bro.
know. And I literally watched the episode back 2 more times
Yeah.
to make sure it was perfect before I rendered it.
Yeah.
And I posted it. I got to bed at 5:45 a.m.
Yeah.
And I couldn't fall asleep till 7.
Yeah.
Like I have such an obsession, like a sick obsession with making sure it is perfect.
Yeah.
And even now, I literally listened to the episode back. I'm like, it's kind of dog shit.
Dude, that's like the equivalent of I just went home after the night and just waterboarded myself.
Yeah.
Like I went home, fell down the stairs. I have so many bruises. Just slept, and then the next thing you know, it was 4 p.m.
Yeah, and the episode is good. I'm really happy with it, like objectively. But I didn't have to watch it back 2 more times at 4 in the morning to make sure it was good. Like I'm burning so much unnecessary oil.
Well, I think last time we talked, you said you had OCD as a kid.
Yeah, I have OCD now, but I've done a lot of work.
Yeah,
to,
yeah, and I'm not saying, with that sort of behavior, all it is someone trying to regulate their emotions, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what you're doing when you're looking at it for the 100th time at 4 o'clock in the morning. There's a feeling of anxiety or discomfort or something like that, and you're just doing something to try and temporarily, until it gets to the last minute, you say, okay, fuck it, post, it's done.
Yeah, it's
Something
it's
like
an unnecessary action to confirm something that's already been confirmed.
Yeah.
What if let's say YouTube just went down on Friday? Like, oh no, Lizard Squad hacked them. You know Lizard Squad?
No, what
Okay,
the
they got
fuck?
hacked by Lizard Squad, right?
Yeah.
And then they're gonna be like, okay, it'll be back up on Wednesday. In those 5 days, how many times more do you watch it?
Oh my god, it had to be. It's got to be like 3, 4 more
No
times.
way.
But you said you had made some progress, so tell me more about that.
Yeah, I think something that I've done is I have really tried my best to go off 0 external validation for the past 6 months. Literally, if somebody says something nice about me, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know because I want my own validation to come from myself.
Yes.
Unfortunately, my image of myself is kind of in the gutter, but I rather have that than be lifted up by people I don't even know. So I rather just view myself as shit than.
Say more about your image of yourself.
I don't really say too many good things about myself on a regular basis.
Let's hear 'em. Let's hear all the bad stuff.
Okay. Oh fuck me.
Yeah, bro.
The
The Dark Passenger.
Okay, Dark Passenger. I think I think a big thing is a little bit of loser behavior. To be honest, I feel like I don't deserve a lot.
Okay.
I feel like my image of myself is very low, as in I only pick out the bad things. Like right now, I've been dating, I've gone on 3-4 dates with someone. I like her, but in my head, I'm going, I don't have a car. I live in my mom's masseuse's basement. I'm 5'6". Why does she like me? And I'm like, what the I feel weird when somebody likes me because I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro?
I'm having an emotional reaction to that. I'm not trying to.
You're gonna make
get
him
too-
cry.
Yo, crier.
No, I'm not gonna cry. But
Oh,
I
shit.
can
My fault.
feel that's so sad.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't a therapy session. I know that, but what a shame.
Yeah.
You know, Derek read the comments. I made a comment, it's like a shirt that doesn't fit or something like that. And so here's this woman who's getting to know you, and she's saying, yes, you know, I like you. I like you more. I want to see you again, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel real, or you feel like it's just a matter of
think-
time before she.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
always wait for the other shoe to drop.
Okay.
Consistently. I'm like, when is it going to go to shit? When is something bad going to happen? And if things get, I've said this on the show before, if things get too good, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, when is it going to get bad again?
I'm thinking of that quote again. You're too busy holding on to your unworthiness.
Yeah.
Have you asked her what she likes about you?
No. I feel like it's like taboo to do when you first start dating someone.
No, it is. Like, don't be
Yeah.
like, so what do you like about me?
Yeah.
Not yet. Not
I
yet.
don't know. It might be an interesting. I think it depends how you ask it. If it's a needy, oh my God, I need you to tell me how great I am so I can calm my anxiety down. But
Yeah.
if it's a curiosity, if you say, hey, I was, you know, doing a podcast and I realized, you know, I have some self-image issues, or I'm struggling to, you know, like myself. I'm just curious. What is it you're responding to, or what is it? We've been on a few dates now. What is it, you know, that's working for you, or that makes you want to go on another date? That might be a very interesting question to ask.
Yeah. I
Okay,
mean,
ask it, but if it goes wrong, then it's your
Yeah.
fault.
I'm
Okay,
like,
okay.
objectively, I know the truth. Like when you said those things about like either what your client said or some of your friends said, like objectively, I can understand why they said that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, stop trolling yourself, bro.
It's so interesting. And again, I thought this was the case, but it's so interesting to hear you guys just hate on yourselves. Because, you know, I'm driving over here and I'm laughing. I'm smiling. I'm excited to see you guys. You know, you have that effect on me. I don't even know what I'm laughing about. You know, I had such a positive experience coming here last time. And I don't have anything intelligent or insightful to say, but it's just a damn shame you guys feel this way about yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because for you, or the contrast, let's contrast this, because
Yeah.
for me, I just think I'm a bad person, but you don't think that at all. For
I don't
you,
think I'm
it's
a bad-
more of a self-value or what you bring to the table.
Yeah, I think it's what I bring to the table. I feel like I don't bring a lot to the table, even though objectively I know I do.
And what I was saying earlier about the comments that my 35-year-old friends made, or my 68-year-old mom made, or all these people who aren't in your kind of you know, age group or whatever, they're not saying, oh my God, these guys are funny. They don't care about your jokes.
Yeah.
They're connecting to something beyond that. They're connecting to the essence of you guys. That's the feedback you're getting.
Dude, it's aura.
Yeah, holy
Has-
shit.
It's like
You know,
that.
aura?
So, okay, what do you think she likes about you? You said objectively. I don't go more into that. Tell me about that.
Oh, I think I'm just super respectful. I also do think I am decently charming sometimes.
You
If
are
I want to be.
charming.
Absolutely.
I've planned really awesome dates. We have plans to go out 2 times this week. Not once, but twice. You fucking hear that?
There's only 7 days in a week.
Yeah, motherfuckers.
That's incredible.
And I think I'm a pretty good person.
Okay, so
and I
that-
care a lot.
So that's, you have 2 stories.
Exactly.
Contradiction.
We're the same guy.
But you can see one story, you're going, this is reality, but then you use the word objective as if that is some fictional thing. You go, objectively, I know. And so your autopilot setting, your default setting is to go to the bad story.
Yeah.
And there's some truth in there. Like I said, it's not about convincing yourself that you're perfect or, you know, these sorts of things. But there's 2 stories, and one is way more functional. Okay,
One is more cool. One is much more
one
fun
is
than the other.
clearly way better than the
Yeah.
other. Okay,
Yeah.
we don't want to bullshit ourselves and lie to ourselves, but one is programmed into you. And all you can really do is become aware that you have this story. And when it starts to creep up, or when you notice it happening, make a conscious effort to adjust it. That won't do that much when you start. But if you
Yeah.
don't do that, if you don't make a conscious effort to change the narrative, then that story is just going to play itself for the rest of your life, and you're going to be sitting here 10 years from now with some
33
other,
years
with
old.
some, and you'll be with some girl that you've gone on a date with 4 times. and it's
You don't
going
even get a
well, but it's
long-term
not-
relationship, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill myself.
He
Yeah.
says you're gonna be single, bro.
It's really serious, actually. You know, like you have to do these things if you want. You can go accomplish all you want and get as many followers as you want, but if you're living in a narrative that I'm unlovable, or it's just a matter of time when a girl gets to know me, she's not going to like me.
Yeah.
You're not going to be healthy and happy. It's just not going to happen no matter what you do.
I mean, I feel like even, I don't know if Derek relates to this at all, but like externally also, I feel like I'm also the same externally. I mean, let me reword that. Like, when I edit BeerSos,
Yeah.
I've done this since the beginning.
Yep.
I put Derek's timeline above my face, so I always see Derek instead of me when I'm editing.
Okay.
Because I can't look at myself for too long.
What would happen if you looked at yourself?
I'd be like, dude, why does he kind of look clapped? Like, that's what I would,
But you never think that of me?
All
no.
You're
No, I
gonna,
think
you're
that-
gonna have to explain that Gen Z term to me.
like
Clapped is
I
like,
I have like a I just think I'm ugly as fuck when if I look at myself for too long.
Or chopped.
Yeah,
is what they're
chopped,
saying.
cooked. And I feel like that kind of attitude also is in like how do I find the words for it? Like, internally, I only view the bad parts of myself.
Yeah.
Even when I look at my face, I view the bad parts of myself.
It's tough when it feels real, because whatever feels real. I mean, I don't think that's any great insight. But
That's fucked
You
up.
know what I mean? Like, I've worked with people who are anorexic or have body dysmorphia and these things. They look in the mirror, and they go, "I'm fat," and they're obviously not fat.
They're like
but
30
that's
pounds.
their felt reality. So it is very challenging. But what's apparent in both of you is you have some realities that you have to start challenging these things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, so you look at yourself and you say with that cringe feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Or that ugly feeling, and just notice what your mind does. Notice the commentary. It's not real. It's real that you feel it. It's real that you're experiencing it, but it's a voice in your head that's commenting on it. That's not actually reality. You acknowledge that objectively. I know yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So you're aware enough to realize that there's a distinction between the story you're telling yourself and reality. You just need to stay with it a little longer.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
And if you were ugly, I would tell you, man.
Thanks,
Like, I
bro.
would. I
Last
swear to
time
God.
we did this, we posted a reel, and so I happened to see a comment from some woman like in her 50s.
He's so fine.
With you. Or no, she was.
I'll make
commenting
you
on
feel young again.
Yeah,
Woo!
exactly. So you have middle-aged women talking about wanting to have
And
sex.
that's
with
a
you,
skill.
and
Yeah. Not a lot of guys can
The
do
middle-aged
that.
women
So
have
you
high
look at-
standards.
You look at yourself, and is the feeling anxiety? Is the feeling shame? Is the feeling like what happens emotionally?
Oh, let me look at myself real quick.
No. Okay,
No,
yeah.
do it.
Wait,
Yes,
but I'll go
look.
next to you
Yeah.
too. So if it gets too bad, you can look at me.
I just go. I think the feeling is it's like I'm nitpicking the slightest things, and it's the same. Honestly, the way I edit BeerSos is the way I look at myself in the mirror. I
yeah.
nitpick it, and I'm like, okay, that's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the timeline on my computer as I'm looking at myself in the mirror.
And it feels impossible to let go of that,
Uh,
or to just drop that.
Yeah, I've tried a lot in my life to let go of outcome. Like,
Okay.
I've tried really, really hard, and I've done this a lot with everything besides my career.
Yeah.
I've done this with everything besides BeerSos. I've tried to let go of just outcome in general. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen.
Yeah.
But then obviously sometimes you slip.
Yeah,
and you lose that.
I think
kind
this
of
is a little different,
traction.
though. I think what we're talking about is neuroticism. It's the voice, the neurotic voice in our head,
Yeah.
if
yeah.
that makes sense. And everyone has that to some extent.
Mhm.
I don't think it's about letting go of the outcome. I think it's about developing enough consciousness or awareness in yourself. Like, so when that voice, I'll give you an example. Sometimes I do hot yoga.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, and when I do hot yoga, I go in there in shorts, no shirt. Kind of thing.
Oh
my
no
God.
God! We
Well,
gotta
it's,
go.
Yeah.
it's very interesting. And immediately what happens is my mind looks at my calves because I have skinny calves, or I perceive my calves.
Dude,
as
I would
being
think you
skinny.
would have massive calves.
So what my brain does automatically is go to the part of my body that I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't control that. That just happens. And then what can happen, if I choose to, is I can start telling myself a story
Yeah.
about how pathetic my calves are, or about I can get on that ride.
Mhm.
And now it's a thing. And now I'm feeling embarrassed about my calves. And now, I'm thinking about it. So the automatic reaction, that's just instinctive. That just happens. But if I'm conscious enough, I can just laugh it off, or I can just put my attention elsewhere, kind of
Yeah.
thing, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Being conscious enough to notice that when that part of you kicks in, that neuroticism or that story or whatever,
Mhm.
to go, no, I don't have to get on that ride. I don't.
Yeah.
No, it's not that easy. Okay,
I
I'm not
mean,
you might
yeah.
try and laugh it off, and then 5 seconds later you're back to telling yourself how ugly you are. But if you don't try with this and keep up with it, these stories in our head about you being an egomaniac or you being ugly or unlovable, they're already installed in us. So if we don't intervene, they just keep running.
And what's funny is like if I get a DM or something like that, I honestly don't care.
Okay, so Margot Robbie DMs you.
No, if someone DMs me like, oh, like you're ugly as fuck, like let's just say somebody DM'd me and was like, you're ugly as fuck, I genuinely would not care at all. If somebody says something bad about me on the internet, I just don't care as much as I used to at all.
Why do you think that change has happened?
Because I think I've worked so hard on only getting validation from my internal.
Yeah.
But I don't internally validate myself, so I just never get validated.
So that goes back to Larry's comment. He said, right, in 55 years of doing therapy, the number one takeaway I have is that people need to be kinder to themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, how about when you edit this?
Okay.
We're doing like the next episode. Top frame yourself.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Perfect suggestion.
I'll have to
right?
top myself.
Like
Top
what you'll
yourself.
find, I have this little saying. I say therapy happens outside of therapy. So clients come in, we talk about their life, we psychoanalyze it. I do my thing. It's all good. Don't get me wrong. But where the change actually happens is out there in the moments that occur in their day-to-day life.
Yeah.
And so you want to be less neurotic. It's not going to be done having a conversation about it. That'll be helpful, but it's going to be when you're editing.
Yeah.
And you see yourself and you turn away. You go, no. All right. Okay. I'm going to look at this. Right. That's when you're going to change. Or like Derek said, just make it a challenge for yourself. Put yourself, I don't really understand what you were talking about.
For like on the top frame, then
okay,
you'll
put
see
yourself on the top frame.
Put yourself on the top frame.
Like these things will start to make a difference. You won't want to do it because to put yourself on the top frame will create anxiety.
Yeah.
Right. But that's your cue that you should do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
to face it a little bit.
that's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Kay.
Challenge, top frame challenge. But this one, since we're a duo,
I have to look at myself.
But let's say this, right? If you were gonna edit this, would you put Aaron on the top frame?
No, I usually don't. If it's guests, I just put that.
But then, do you look at yourself or do you just look at me?
I mean, even if I'm brushing my teeth, like I try not to look in the mirror. Like I'm like, what? Like I literally have to look away.
This might be a little weird, but I would start looking at yourself in the mirror more.
And then go like this. You know?
Okay.
And I want to highlight that beautiful comment you just made. That's part of your great positive personality,
you.
your lovable personality.
See, you don't gotta eat.
Or like put music in the back too. Like I mean, this actually works for me. If you put like a hype up song, like your song, your entrance song, you're gonna feel cool.
Seven Nation Army.
That's your
a great
drink
song.
a White
That's
Claw
a great-
and hold a
yeah.
White Claw.
Yeah. I'm curious,
look.
were you guys bullied in high school?
No,
He was my bully in high school.
No, I was not.
Oh yeah.
No, I was not.
His friends bullied me. I
yeah?
bet they teased me. They picked on me.
They teased you, but I didn't. No. What did I say to you?
Hey, yo, wrong class, buddy.
Okay, yeah. So when I first met him, I thought he was super small. So I was like, bro, because like when you go from grade 8 to grade 9, you think you're the shit. And then I was in grade 9. All of a sudden, I wasn't the smallest in the room, and I was like, "Hey, wrong class, bro." Yeah, but
So that's the origin. Of
That's the
ego,
origin
of it.
feeling ugly, feeling ashamed.
I started it.
It all comes full circle.
It all
started it.
Comes full circle.
because you haven't seen us for what 9 months now, maybe. How long has it been?
It's been like 9 months.
9 months?
Here in August, I think.
August.
8 months.
8 months.
I don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Do you think we are different? Do you think we've changed at all since last you've seen us, or do you think we're the same?
Vibe
dudes?
is different. The vibe is different. Yeah. It's less goofy. I love your goofiness. Don't get me wrong. But or maybe that was just the tension because you guys knew you were going to talk about heavy. I trust your interpretations of yourself. You guys are saying you're different, so I trust that. I would have to. I think change happens with the girl when you go on the 5th date and you're thinking, should I ask this girl what she likes about me or not? Or change happens when it comes time to put you on the top frame or whatever that is. If
Okay,
that
next
makes
episode.
sense, right?
And
so
then
it'd
the
have
mirror.
to be in your life kind of, to really gauge that. But you guys seem a little more mature or something like that.
We interpreted this as more serious coming into it.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
we still pop a foreskin joke once.
Good.
Yeah,
Consistently.
we'd be doing them.
No,
I think
really
this is the
like I said,
most serious one we've done in a while.
Yeah. Me and my friends, we sit around and there's just like this energy that comes over. We're all feeding off each other. We're trying to make each other laugh. and we're building off what the other person's saying, or we're teasing someone, or someone says a story and then we say another story, and that energy of friendship of people, like, you know, that's a beautiful thing. And so I don't know where I'm going with that rant, other than
Companionship.
Don't stop being funny. That's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
I don't think that's the goal.
I
but-
think externally, I love my friends. I love the situation I've got going for myself right now. I love the work that I've put in. But underlying, the hardest truth is that I just do not fuck with myself.
You don't fuck with yourself.
I don't
How
like
did
myself.
how did this girl come into the picture? How did she decide to like you and want to see you and spend time with
Hey,
you?
you know me, Aaron. Walked into a bar, was locked in. You know, photo booth wasn't working. Me and my boy went up. Who's that? Not this guy. Me and the other guy.
Not-
We're
not me,
like,
not
yo,
me.
photo booth. Wait, is the photo booth not working? And then, bro, you know, we just talking with her and her friends. And then, Aaron, then I'm locked. Yo, can I buy you a chick? Oh, yes, you can. And then, bro, you know, we just chatting about. And then I'm leaving. So I'm like, yo, can I grab your Instagram? And then, you know, the next day I ask her out on a date. You know, now
And now
3 weeks, 4 weeks later.
That's incredible, but you can see how that doesn't fit your image of yourself. And so to say,
Like, you just described yourself as the rizziest guy.
yeah, but
Talking
you
about,
but you had to do it. Or you didn't have to, but you do it in the sarcastic way. And,
Yeah.
and that's fine.
I did it as quick as possible.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it can
And
be done
maybe you
with
don't want
it.
to talk, maybe you don't want to talk about it, that's fine as well.
Oh, no,
You
I'll
know,
talk about
but-
anything on the show.
But it's just interesting that you can go up to a woman, talk a little bit, get to know her, and she says, yes, absolutely, I want to see you. Yes, I want to see you again.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to see you twice this week. So you are gathering evidence, both of you, that contradicts your beliefs about yourself, but you're not highlighting it.
Yeah,
You're not-
it's like
you're
we're just
not-
closing our eyes when we
Yeah,
see
bro,
that.
why did we do that
Yo,
shit?
there's a term called confirmation bias. Have you heard?
Oh, I'm.
Yeah.
Yo, that,
I love that.
Well, yeah, it's a political thing too, or whatever. But it applies to yourself. So if you believe whatever it is you believe about yourself, you're going to dismiss all information that contradicts that belief and accept all the information that confirms it.
And all of a
And
sudden
so
you're
girls-
spiraling.
Girls
Yeah.
tend not to go, be too responsive to a guy coming up to them, or give them their Instagram, or go on a date, or go on a second date, or go on 2 dates in 1 week. So all this is happening,
yeah.
and you're completely dismissing it.
Yeah, I don't even mean to
And you
do
know
it,
what's
Aaron.
fucked
I
up?
swear to
But
God, I don't
that's-
mean to do
know
it.
you don't. That's the
Yeah.
point I'm trying to make. These things happen unconsciously. That's why I keep highlighting them, because if you don't highlight them and stay conscious of them, then the programming just persists.
Yeah.
And you know what's fucked
Right?
up? We pride ourselves as being like consistent guys.
Yeah.
That's mad inconsistent.
I know.
That's so inconsistent.
I
We're
know.
full
Look
of
at the evidence.
Yeah, we're full of contradictions. I had this thought the other day. It was like, we're all the same. Our stories are different, but we're all playing the same game in life. We all want love. We all want respect. We all want to avoid pain. We've come up with a bunch of strategies to do so. I think we all want a sense of vitality, so we feel like we're actually alive and our life isn't just passing us by. And when you strip it all down, at the core of each human being, I think there are 2 primary forces, okay? Love and fear. And these forces oppose each other. So they pull us in different directions, and we're full of contradictions, and our behavior confuses us at times. I think the task for each person, to some extent, is to navigate that internal tug-of-war in a conscious and creative way rather than an unconscious and destructive way. So that's kind of what's going on for you, okay?
Yeah.
Is love and fear. I know you don't love this girl or anything, but it's the spirit of love, or the energy of love, the excitement of meeting someone. And that's a very powerful feeling. It draws you towards her. But as soon as you do that, your fear shows up. And you can't obliterate your fear. You can't just cut it out like it's a tumor and remove it. So you have to learn how to navigate the two, the dance between the two. And that's difficult to do. And how you do it's going to be different. How Derek does it going to be different than how I do it. But that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah, no lie. I mean, I think, like, I definitely know everything. I'm like, I know the truth, but I just refuse to believe it.
What's the truth?
I mean, like, that I have some goated ass qualities about
Yeah.
myself.
You guys both do. You really do. So, I kind of keep asking the same question. So why don't you believe it? Or why do you say, I know the truth, but I refuse to believe it, which means you're choosing not to believe it. Why do you choose not to believe it? Why won't you give yourself that?
I've literally never thought about that before.
So you're in the place I was talking about earlier where you were.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a place of no language.
Yeah.
You said I haven't.
Bro, the sunken place.
So,
I'm in
so
the
you
sunken
need to
place.
map that.
Yeah.
What I mean is you need to hang out in that place. We don't need to do it right now. You need to hang out in that place until you have some idea, not necessarily why you're doing it, but just a feeling of I am doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've used like this one girl as like kind of the blanket example for like it's honestly this one girl is like the blanket analogy for like I think everything in my life.
Last time we were talking, there was some.
That was I think that was
We don't need to get in your date.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
She ended
I
up
don't
doing
wanna put you on
cocaine,
the
Aaron.
Yeah, I don't want to put you on the spot. But, last time we spoke, I remember there was a girl you had gone on a couple dates with. And so there's a pattern.
Yeah, or even like say if BeerSos goes super well, I just wait. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I'm like, when is it gonna get shit? Like, when am I gonna get shit next? You know?
I want to know. We don't have to talk about it right now if you don't. I want to know like what it was like for you guys when you guys blew up.
I'm down. You want to end it with this? Let's end
Yeah.
it with this.
Wait, I want to ask you. Wait, one quick question
Yeah,
before
yeah.
we do that. Let me know if you resonate with this. But let's say that you want to view yourself better. Is one of the like things that hinders it is like the fact that it'll take work and that work you might not want to do right now because you're busy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I operate on a week-to-week basis. Like us getting an episode out like a week. Like obviously being a single mom, so much harder. We can all agree on that.
Yeah.
But like getting an episode out weekly, like I'm rendering it like 5 hours.
Well,
before
but we
it's
have two
published.
channels now.
Yeah, and we have 2 channels. Like
What's
it is.
the other channel?
We have like
Derek and Nico. Second
Guys,
channel,
second
guys.
channel.
Link in the
Link
description.
in bio.
Link in the fucking
Oh,
description.
We got
I
an
have to follow
IRL
it.
channel.
Okay.
Alcohol tier list is out now. Watch the handcuff video. We take a shit on camera.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
true.
maybe
yeah.
I won't watch.
Oh
But
fuck.
keep going.
But I think it like the way I look at BeerSos is kind of like I look at it like a newsroom. Like we are getting it done last minute. Like it is like weekly. You get one out, boom. You can't even focus on that one anymore because you have to focus on the next thing. I think I am afraid that if I divert my attention, I will lose that traction.
I understand that fear.
Yeah.
For me, it's if I divert that attention, people will like me less. Like I spend a lot of time trying to be somebody valuable, and if like I strip that down,
Yeah.
and that's not objectively true. But then I gotta like do all this. and-
Objectively.
I love
Well, I
objectively.
hear you guys both saying two stories. One is I'm trapped in this story. Help me. Give me a diagnosis. Give me some tools. I want
Yeah.
out of this story. And then the other story is I want to hold on to this story. Don't help me. I'm comfortable where I am. I'm uncomfortable, but I'm comfortable in that.
Yeah.
I'm
It's like when you have
I'm
a
happy.
toothache.
Yeah, I'm
like-
happy being unhappy. So just know that's the contradiction within yourself. I don't think it has anything to do with your busy schedule. Not to.
Oh no, I'm definitely like if I really want to do it.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
like,
Also, there were twice. I can't remember the context now, but there were twice where I asked you a question, and you guys didn't have an answer. And it was something along the lines of why do
It
you
was
do that
why,
to yourself?
yeah.
You know, I would say that's why you haven't changed the story or tried to. It's because you haven't really put your attention there. You've learned about anxious attachment, about narcissism. You've talked about childhood trauma, yada yada, but you haven't really brought your attention to your inner world. The place within yourself in which you cling to your unworthiness or that story, or you haven't been asked a question like, why don't you stop doing it?
It's like
Why, you know,
I
if
don't
you're so
fucking-
miserable and you're driving yourself anxious about this great girl here, why don't you just try and think something different? And you know, it's just never occurred to you.
Yeah.
Not because you're dumb or anything like that. It's just because we're externally focused. We're too busy. Maybe you are busy.
Yeah.
Man. We're busy doing what we got to do. But
I mean, everyone's busy. Let's be fucking real.
when you really keep it in your conscious mind that it's a story, that I have some ability to alter this story, then you can change it. Otherwise, what will happen is you'll suffer to the point where you then do change.
Yeah, I mean, even when you asked us like, what was it like for you when you like blew up on the internet or blew up? Even the term like blow up, like I don't even think we blew up, to be honest. Like
my humble king,
it's
my
all-
humble
never
legend.
take it. I can never take it.
It's
you
all
know?
It's humble.
It's all relative. I think you guys
Yeah.
are in blow up. The blow up, which I know you are. Like I'm telling you, it's crazy to work, or not crazy, but to work with people. You have real fans. Like
Oh my
you're-
god, the BeerSos glaze happens in the
But
sessions, and he
no,
can't
tell
say
me-
anything
tell
about
me a bit
it.
about it. Like, so you're early 20s, you started a podcast. So I want to, and then it happens. Like, was it like you? Was it the white stepdad reel? And you got
Oh man,
like what's the
it happened
journey?
really fast.
Yeah,
I want to
shit.
I want to say we hit 10K and then 100K within 5
5 months.
5
maybe.
months.
So was that like one reel that got hot? Was that
I went on like a 73-9 Warriors season special. Like I went on a roll.
Yeah, this guy really cooked. For like
quantity? Like
just like
3 months. We had reels just blowing up
Yeah.
back to back to back.
yeah.
like
and-
me and the algorithm were tight, like
Yeah.
best friends for like
We
a
spent
good
3
half year.
years working for 10K, and then all of a sudden 10K to 100K happened in
Yeah.
5 months, and then 100K to 200K. It was a bit of a slower
100K to
process.
200K.
So
was like
I'm
8
audit-
months.
I'm
Yeah.
not anywhere near where you guys are, but I think that's, you might know this. I think that's how the algorithm works. Like same
Yeah.
thing happened with me on a lesser scale. Like I was at 1,000 and then went to like 10,000 and 40,000. And it's like
10,000
I was
is-
in this like tier in which every time I open my phone, it's
Yeah.
not anymore. I've been bumped or something's happened, but it's like it just caught on like wildfire.
10K is the hardest to get because that's like when you have nothing. There's no reason anybody wants to watch you.
But it's like I think I'm trying to remember now. I think what happens is like when a reel gets going or 2 reels it's like I think
Yeah.
Instagram helps you
yeah,
out.
it does.
Yeah.
If you start going on a roll, and
Yeah,
it's like even
yeah.
if you post like a shitty reel after 10 good ones, the shitty one will still get views too, just
Exactly,
because
yeah,
you have a
yeah.
rep now.
So as you guys all of a sudden get 100,000, like, or I imagine you're stoked, but like just like what's it like to go from sitting in here doing this 1,000 followers to all of a sudden, holy shit, this is actually happening and we have 100,000 followers.
It was cool. It was really cool.
I just don't feel it.
Yeah.
I really
I
don't
feel
feel
super
it.
cool.
I mean, I downplay our accomplishments all the time. Even last episode, I was talking. We did like a Q&A, and somebody asked us, "How do you start a podcast?" And I gave a bunch of advice, and then I was like, "But we have 40,000 YouTube subscribers, so
Yeah.
I'm an ant." That's
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
the language I use. I
Yeah.
just cannot accept it. I cannot accept the accomplishment. I can't accept the award. I will always downplay.
What
it.
if you just acted? What if you just stopped downplaying it as an act?
I'm
what
afraid.
happened?
Honestly, I'm afraid to
But I
lose the
think-
humbleness.
Yeah, no, I think that's kind of healthy actually. Maybe not. You know, I think in talking
It's to such a degree
You
where
know
it's
what it
unhealthy
is?
now.
okay, so
If we
yeah.
had if we balanced our humbleness out, it would be the perfect amount of
Yeah.
humbleness.
Yeah,
We've said this
That's what
before.
it would
If me
be.
and
I
you
like
combine,
what
it'd
you
be the
said
best.
earlier about internal validation. We all want external validation. I do too. But like, I think I consider this an art. I think this is art in 2025. It's an art form, right? And a lot of people are doing podcasts and they make really shitty podcasts, really shitty reels, and you guys don't. And so
Oh, yeah.
there's something you're doing that's working. But I think in order to keep doing it, you'll have to use your own internal compass as a guide, right? I think if you go, what do people want? How are we being perceived? What can we do to get people to get more followers? I think you'll lose touch from what you're doing. So I think downplaying it's probably a good call. I wouldn't downplay it to the point in which you don't enjoy the ride.
I downplay it to the dirt.
Okay,
like,
well, that's a bit much.
Yeah.
And I'm on like the Empire State right now.
Yeah,
talking
bro,
about
bro,
who up,
in the
who
sky,
up.
I'm in the dirt.
That's part of the greatness of you two.
And
is
we-
We have
yin
like an
level.
apartment.
the
Yeah.
yin yang or the yin yang or the balance between you two.
Yeah,
Love.
but I definitely think it's been a super, honestly, like amazing experience when you want to do something for the longest time ever and then you do it. It's like, damn.
And I think that's, again, I said there are 2 types of reactions I get from going on your show. And I told people I was going again. And so I got reactions from that. One is I love these guys, and 2 is something along the lines of they're impressive. People are
But let's take it in.
Yeah, because they're, and I think that speaks more to the fact that in your early 20s, you've put your mark on your own life. You've said, we want to do this, and you're doing it, and you're doing it authentically, and it's actually happening. And I think there are a lot of people who go past the jokes and just go, that's fucking impressive. That's cool what those guys are doing. Like people my age are saying that. Yeah.
I mean, I do notice our fan base is older than us on at least Spotify.
Yeah. I noticed that too in my clients. Like I said, I assumed all your fans were in their 20s, and then I started getting clients from your show
Yeah.
who were older than that.
And we had an argument with our friend talking about who has an older fan base. It's us.
But was it
It's-
weird to get like, you're not famous, but
Yeah.
like whatever it is you are, was that weird or was it just all good and fun?
I think it's come with, I don't know. It's
honestly can't remember the time we didn't really have following, just because it happened so fast. Like,
Yeah, it
I
really-
can't, like, my memory of it is foggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it was, I think it hasn't really changed anything for me.
Yeah.
You know, like
Because you're in the dirt.
I'm literally, I view it in the
But
dirt.
does
you
it
know?
change your life? Like, do people notice you outside? Like,
Every once in a while, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's always like so wonderful if somebody sees me in public.
Yeah.
Sometimes obviously the interaction is like really, really awkward sometimes.
That's okay, y'all. That's
like
okay,
this
y'all.
one,
That's
like
okay.
this one person, I was walking across the street,
Yeah.
and she was also walking across the street the opposite direction of me, and she stopped and pointed at me, and then I was like, "Hi," and I kept walking, and then she followed me,
Okay.
and like we had no, honestly, no disrespect,
Because you don't want to act
Yeah.
like,
But
oh,
she was
it's
like-
because I'm
she's
famous,
like-
you know?
"Oh my god, am I dreaming right now?" I was like, "Oh no, you're not dreaming or anything," and like it was like mad awkward,
Not
bro.
dreaming, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm the real deal, motherfucker.
I didn't know what to say, and she was like, "Oh my god, like I can't believe you're real. Like I honestly I'm," and she was like, I'm older than you. I was like, "Oh, that's chill." Like I didn't know what to say.
But at this point, could you recognize that it was because she knows who you are from
Yeah,
Instagram?
yeah.
Instagram?
But then she
Okay.
literally DM'd me like 5 hours after that. She was like, "By the way, so sorry if that was awkward."
That's funny,
But
'cause-
usually it's always usually fantastic. So great to meet people, and that has been kind of life changing, and it's kind of seen that impact we have, and like being like, "Oh, this person like in public recognizes me and perceives
there's
a lot
I'm
about me."
telling you, I'm on the front lines. There are people who are really into what you're doing and have an appreciation for it that goes beyond humor. Humor is a big part of it, but you have legitimate fans out there. It's really cool.
Yeah, how you feel, bro? You feel good?
Feel pretty good. And you know where the legitimate fans are?
Oh yeah, now
Yeah.
we take their money.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Whoa.
take business transaction.
You give us something, and then we give you something.
Yeah.
And
We're going to
today,
be
what do
giving
we-
you probably the most successful advice session ever coming soon on the Patreon.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Not just us, but with Aaron.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If I give bad advice now, he was going to call me out on it.
Yeah. I mean, Aaron, once again, I want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you, guys.
Something that I think is honestly really, really crazy is that we can just get into the shit right away.
Oh yeah.
But like, you are, no lie, you are as good as you are just as good
you
at
don't
this
have
as
to
we
worry
are.
about me. You
No,
don't
but
have to
holy
worry.
shit, you know your shit conversationally. You know exactly what you're doing, and thank you for bringing your talents on
Pleasure.
once again.
We've done this twice now. We're entering friendship territory.
Okay, I'll
Drink
start
with
texting back.
Aaron.
I'll start
We're
texting
not-
back.
we're-
I'll
we're
start
not-
texting back.
We're not there yet. We're
Okay.
not there yet, but we're getting into that territory.
Well, our
We're,
initiation for friendship is we got to drink a beer.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
you just name the time and place. I'll be there.
BeerSos.